Growing up as a kid, yeah. All a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from.
What is up, everybody? It's JT Sports and back you guys with some breaking news. So according to a story from the Washington Post, 15 women who have worked for the Redskins have alleged sexual harassment by former scouts and members of owner Daniel Snyder's inner circle. Now, I took it upon myself to go ahead and read this article by the Washington Post, which cost me $1. So I can go ahead and give you guys a summary of what the article was about and what happened, so you guys don't have to pay $1 to read it. So basically, you had a bunch of horny men walking around the Washington Redskins organization, inappropriately touching women and saying weird things about their bodies, the way their bodies were structured, and all kinds of weird, awkward nonsense. So first, let's start off with Michael, who is regarded as the voice of the Washington Redskins. Now, he routinely discussed the appearance of female workers in weird and awkward voices. He also was caught on Hot Mic talking about the appearance of a college intern. Now you got Santos, who was the director of pro personnel. He made inappropriate remarks about 6 female employees and 2 female reporters, basically talking about their bodies, asking them if they were interested in them. Then he even took it upon himself to pinch one reporter on her butt in front of other employees and said that she had a butt like a wagon. I promise you I'm not making this stuff up. Like, this is really weird and it is really disturbing. The guy Santos, the director of pro personnel for the Redskins, pinched the reporter on her butt and asked and said that she had a butt like a wagon. Now, he didn't necessarily say butt. He said something more worse. And I can't repeat that because I don't want the video to get demonetized. But it was a lot of weird stuff. Then you got a guy named Richard Mann, who was the assistant director of pro personnel. He talked about a woman's breast size and was giving her weird hugs. Then you have Dennis Green, the president of business operations. He wanted the female staff to wear low-cut blouses and tight skirts when they were around wealthy suit holders, and he wanted them to flirt with them. So basically, Dennis Green wanted the female workers that were around him to basically be sex objects, basically, so they could be more appealing to the suit holders. So he wanted them to wear like low-cut blouses and tight skirts to make them look sexually appealing to suit holders. Maybe that could sway their interest in something. Really weird. Really weird. Then you got Dan Snyder. Now, Dan Snyder was not accused of any sexual misconduct. Like, he wasn't pinching women on the butt saying, oh, you got a butt like a wagon, or you got nice boobies, or you got nice titties. He wasn't saying he didn't do anything inappropriate, but he does deserve a good amount of blame as well, according to the article. Now, he basically allowed the verbal abuse to carry on amongst basically going on in the organization. Now, Dan Snyder, what he did, which is why he's not innocent in this, is he belittled top executives and teased one for being a male cheerleader in college. And after a meeting, Dan Snyder told this guy who used to be a male cheerleader in college that, you know, he basically made fun of him. And after a meeting, he told him to do a cartwheel for his entertainment. Now, that's a little weird, because why would you want a guy who used to be a male cheerleader to do a cartwheel for you for your entertainment? Like, who gets a joy out of watching another man do a cartwheel? Now, remind you, this is not a female. This is a male who he told this to. Dan Snyder told a male who was a former cheerleader in college to do a cartwheel for him for his entertainment. That sounds not only a little weird, but a little sus to me, Dan Snyder. That is really... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I have any grown men on here that enjoy watching other grown men do cartwheels for their amusement, that is hella weird to me. Hella weird. Then, He also was accused of having a toxic work environment. This work environment basically described by almost everybody in this article basically is described as manipulative and passive aggressive. Then the work environment was so bad that there was a private orientation for new female workers by veteran female workers, telling them basically on places and people to avoid. And one of these places to avoid was the staircase as soon as you come into the entrance of the Washington Redskins organization building. Then women also got unwanted shoulder and leg rubs. So basically, to sum this up, you had a bunch of horny, weird, and awkward men who obviously aren't getting no play if they're doing all this kind of weird stuff, saying all these weird things towards female workers. You had a very uncomfortable and weird, awkward work environment to work in. This is just all around disgusting. It's weird and it's really awkward. And I feel for the female workers that were in this situation. And a lot of people ask them, why did they keep working? Because they loved their job, the money was good, and this was always a dream of theirs to always work for an NFL organization. And after this experience, a lot of these women said that they would never want to work for a pro sports organization after this experience with the Washington Redskins ever again. Really weird. And I also feel for the male who was the former cheerleader who was told to do a cartwheel for Dan Snyder's amusement. Just weird. Like, what? Who tells another grown man to do a cartwheel for their amusement? Who just goes up to somebody and says, hey man, I know you're a former male cheerleader. I know you were a cheerleader in college. I know you're a dude. But I want you to do a cartwheel for me. Now, I'm not turned on by men or anything. I just enjoy watching other men do front flips and cartwheels. It's just something that I really like watching. That is really weird. Like, really weird. Like, if that was me, I'm gonna be honest. I would have slapped Dan Snyder. I would have. Like, who says that? Who says that? Who tells another grown man to say, hey man, I know you were a cheerleader in college. Can you please do a cartwheel for me for my amusement? Like, who the heck says that? Weird. Then you got guys pinching female co-workers on the butt saying, you got a butt like a wagon. Like, just immature. Like, this is stuff that people at elementary and middle school would do. Like, these are grown men. Grown, horny men that obviously aren't getting no play in their life. And they would just walk around horny. And Dan Snyder allowed this to happen. And you know what? The sad thing is, I'm not even surprised. You see, it's always a reason why these sports organizations are so bad. Because it always starts with the office environment. And somehow the office environment trickles down all the way to the things that happens on the field. Like, you got these women workers, these young ladies crying, saying how much they don't like the job, but they don't want to give it up because the excuse that was always thrown in their face is like, if you quit, there's always 1,000 other women that want your job, that want your position. Like, imagine wanting something your whole entire life, your dream, getting your dream job, and then you have weird, horny men pinch you on the butt saying, you got a butt like a wagon. You got a man telling another grown man to do a cartwheel for his amusement. That is really weird. Like, this whole entire incident is just weird. It's awkward. It makes me feel uncomfortable just talking about it. And I feel for the people that were in this situation. Because, like, who wants to have to deal with that? Who wants to have to avoid people? Who wants to have to avoid certain places? Like, who wants to walk around their dream job in fear? Just really weird. Man, pinching girls on the butt saying you got a butt like a wagon. Giving awkward shoulder rubs and leg rubs and things like that. Like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you guys? You guys are grown men. Most of you guys are married and have wives. Wives. It is just really weird. And it is just really awkward. But I mean, you guys let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. I am absolutely disgusted. And I just feel absolutely terrible for the workers and the reporters who had to deal with this. Really disgusted.